Hi everybody and welcome. Today I would like to present you this subject. This is a request from a friend and colleague, and it is based on this reference. Okay, it is made by someone on Instagram called N Octopussy. Okay, so link in the description, of course. It's here. Yeah. And then he or she made another one here, which is kind of close, a black version. Let's try to approximate something close. As we can see, we also have the gold layer, which is slightly engraved into the mass, the stone mass. We can see that we have cells, a cells pattern, we have gradients, and then I added some personal stuff like erosion, sense of erosion here. But we kept mostly the main features like this sense of direction, same kind of noise. It's kind of close. I tried different colors. This one turned out to be fine. Let's dive into it. Once again, I will replicate this graph with you. So first thing to do, I'm gonna cut out the outputs so we don't have anything, and we'll just start fresh. So we can use, in this case, a base material. Then this base material, you can right click on it and click view in 3D view. Okay, nice. So what kind of maps did I have? I think just base color, normal, metallic, and roughness. So no heights, no tessellation for this project. So in the base material, you want to activate the user-defined maps. So base color, normal, roughness, metallic. Great. So let's start by the pattern. As I said, we have a cells pattern. We can have a look at the reference. You can see that we have different cells very close one to another, and with a gradient. It's not always the same kind of gradient. There's a nice variation to it, and we can also mainly see that we have like lines or a noise direction, which is very interesting to do. Let's start simple. Let's start with the pattern. I use the cells 4 to start with, and safe transform just maybe to rotate it a little bit. So let's start with a cells 4, and we have to find the right scale. In this case, the scale is 4, so let's do it. Cells 4, as you can see, it's not the same, so maybe there's something different. We have no disorder, the color source is random, and I clicked on non-square expansion. Let's see if it does something. It's exactly the same, but it's still different. So maybe I used a different random seed. Okay, that's the case. I used the random seed of 1. So let's do the same here, and we should have exactly the same motif. That's the case. Nice. Let's use now a safe transform grayscale. I think I just rotated it 50 degrees. Nice. Okay. Doesn't matter if it's not exactly the same, of course. Let's branch our base material. Okay. For the color, right now, just use a basic gradient. It will help us a little bit. Okay, no need for any metallic right now. Same for the roughness. Okay, at least now in the 3D view, we can see what we are doing. Then I use the edge detect, of course, to have a little gap between the cells, which will be useful later on to create the gold layer decoration. Let's put in the same settings, 1.5, 1.5 for the width, and 2.42 for the edge roughness. Cool. Oh, I had used an offset also in the safe transform. So I will also set it in the same way, 0.24. Now we have exactly the same thing. So that's a good start. Okay, so the next phase is for me to create a gradient for each individual cells. The way that you can do this is with float fill. So that's kind of nice. And this float fill, you can send it to float fill to grayscale. If you use grayscale or just random grayscale, you won't have gradients. You will get only a different grayscale value for each cells, which is not what we want. We want a sense of slope for each cells. So we are going to use the float fill to gradient grayscale. Great. Okay. We can also add some variation with the Perlin noise. So let's do it with any noise, but the Perlin noise is kind of nice. Okay. The scale is set to 10. And I plugged it in the angle input and the slope input. Okay, so for now it doesn't change anything, but we have to set some things up. As you can see, we have the angle variation, and different stuff. Let's see how it is in the original pattern. Okay, first the angle. Okay, 107. Let's say 0.9. I like to round up the numbers. 0.9 here, 0.6 in the angle image input multiplier and not multiplayer. Slope image input multiplier 0.55 and multiply by slope intensity 1. All right, lots of different settings here. Let's try to do the same. Here it was 0.9. Here I think 0.6 and here 0.55. As long as the slope variation is good enough, that's all right. Okay, that's cool. Good start. I'm not going to use the normal actually right now. If I have just one link to plug into the base material, that's better. That's easier. Okay, nice. Now what we need is a bit of distortion. So we can use a directional warp to do this. Very easy. Directional warp. And the intensity input can be driven by the Perlin noise. So I'm just gonna plug it here. Let's set it up. Okay, intensity 50 degrees, 170. Nice. Okay. It still feels a bit abstract, but we are going somewhere, so let's keep going. Okay, this histogram scan maybe can be replaced by an auto levels. Let's see. I think the auto levels is sufficient, is enough. But as you can see, it takes a bit more time to calculate. It's not a big deal though. What I want to do with the distance node is just to bridge the gap, hold the gaps we have between the cells, actually. Okay, let's do it. We need a distance node and the histogram scan. The source input is our directional warp, and the mask input is going to be brought by the histogram scan. So 0.6, let's say, as the position. Of course, we can adjust the maximum distance of the distance node in order to bridge more gaps. In this case, it was set at 22. Let's do the same. Okay, close enough. Okay, cool. Okay, we are already making good progress so far. Let's keep going with the erosion effects. So as you can see, we are sending the result of our distance node, our pitch gap, into a non-uniform directional warp. Perfect. So non-uniform directional warp, just to mess things up a little bit, to give more character and to really start breaking the lines that the distance node gave us. So what did I put into the intensity input and the warp angle input? Just a noise, in this case a clouds 2, without any particular settings. So I will do the same here. Let's bring in a clouds 2. We didn't change anything. And now our effect is coming alive. Slowly but surely. Then what I wanted to add to this is what we see here in the reference, the sense of directionality. What I want is a blend node first. We saw that we want a blending mode set to soft lights, and we want our shadows. So the shadows node, nice. And the shadows node actually is just driven by our previous result. So the non-uniform directional warp grayscale. We just have to find the correct setting. So first the angle was around this direction. And of course we have to play with the shadow distance and the edge softness. Shadow distance is around 10. I think 10 will be good. And the samples all the way up to 16. Okay, cool. Maybe the angle could be more like this. What did I use? Okay, let's try 240. Maybe not. Maybe 235. That's better. Okay, cool. 235, same. And it's in. It's still relatively subtle at this stage. It shows mainly here in the darker zones of the texture. But let's keep going. We'll add now some surface detail. So we need the blend node. As you can see here, we really feel the lines, the noise lines coming in. So let's do it. First, we need a blend node, another blend node. With the levels to adjust and to get some control. So the blending mode is set to overlay. Overlay with an opacity of 0.6. Okay, cool. And we saw that we need the levels node here. Don't worry about the red lines. It's because right now it doesn't know if it's color or grayscale. We're gonna feed in some grayscale values. So here I'm mostly creating noise in this frame, starting with a moisture noise, scratch generator. Nice, very useful node. If you want to create marble or any veins in a mineral, the scratches generator combined with another noise in a multi-directional warp grayscale can do a good job. And then some more direction feeling with the directional warp. I'm wondering if this step is really necessary actually, because all of the sense of direction really comes from this directional warp. Let's try it with our uh, own version. So I will skip this shadows pass, and are going to make our directional noise like this. So we need a moisture. Okay. So that's good. And then our directional warp. The moisture goes into the intensity, and the multi-directional warp goes into the input. Okay, cool. So what are the settings for the scratches generator? We want a good amount of splines, 1024. Okay, 1024, 180 here. .62 as 0.62 for the spline distortion, and 61 for the spline distortion frequency. Okay. And I think that should be it. Maybe for the start, the fade mode. No, I just left it on start. Okay, so should be exactly the same. Maybe the random seed. No, the random seed is different. It's 0. So that's okay. Okay, the spline width actually here in this case is 1.6. So maybe we can do something about it. Okay, it's very close, so we can use it like that. Did I change anything on the moisture noise? I don't think so. It's the default one. What are the settings for the multidirectional warp grayscale? 18 for the angle and 10 as the intensity. Okay. Okay, that's fine. And then we need an angle, a warp angle. Minus 128. 36.36 as the intensity. Okay, let's keep the same settings. And then we send this to the levels, and that goes to our texture with the overlay set at 0.6. Actually, I think I didn't change anything in the levels node, or maybe the level in mid a little bit. 0.46. That's fine. Level in mid 0.46. Yeah, it's more present. Okay, we're making really good progress. Actually, that's cool. Now we could move on to the roughness, but the roughness needs the normal. I usually derive the roughness from the normal. So what we could do actually is to use is to go through this gold generation. So the gold layer on our reference, we want to do this. Should be relatively quick and easy. Then we'll go through the normal, the roughness, and then the color. But this will be for part 2 of this two-part series. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.